Have you ever thought about starting your own podcast? When I was trying to get to this podcast off the ground, I had so many questions. How do I record an episode? Where do I find my background music? How do I get my show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and all the other places people like to listen? Where do I find the advertisers? The answer to every one of these questions is really simple. Anchor. Anchor is a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing and monetizing your podcast. And best of all, it's 100% free and 100% ridiculously easy to use. So, if you want to start a podcast, go to anchor.fm/start to join me and the diverse community of podcasters already using Anchor. That's anchor.fm/start. I can't wait to hear your podcast. Hey guys, and welcome to @ThursTrek, part of March Mayhem. And this has been a while since I've seen a lot of Star Trek in the TV shows. But sure, I mean, I'm not a Star Trek guy in movies. However, I'm more of a TV show. The ones I watched were ones that I were a fan of are Star Trek with William Shatner and Leonard Nimoy, and The Next Generation with Patrick Stewart. But, however, it's just I want to do a little bit of housekeeping, both figuratively and literally. So, yeah. It's just, that one of my friends, however, I'm going to keep his name, it's classified. So, I'm in a house that's classified, however, just making sure that he gets his house sold so we can just, get everything ready. So he can have his money. And of course, for me, I have my place to live so I can do my podcast. And maybe just roam around a bit. But, however, just wait till I get to work. And I got plenty of time before I go to work. Well, only around 50 minutes. But it won't be long. So, that's pretty much it. And we're going to, of course, talk about ThursTrek. So yeah, we already know that CBS All Access is no more because it went from that due to the recent divorce and remarry of CBS Viacom. It's now the Paramount Network. It's now Paramount Plus, another streaming service, joining the likes of Hulu, Disney Plus, and of course, the recently released Peacock. But Paramount Plus, so yeah, I got a good deal on this. So yeah, I got a good deal on this for doing annually. So if I do this annually, instead of monthly, I could save some money, for a budget. But aside from point, I saw Lower Decks, but if it's like it's just a it's a new Star Trek show which is created by one of the creators of one of the people behind Rick and Morty. With the humor. But, however, yeah, so my first impression on this. I mean, it's alright. I mean, it's not good, it's not bad. I mean, it's alright, because it's first impression. Sure, it has a Star Trek Easter eggs, and some people, who were part of Star Trek be in the show, and there's some mentions of the OG Star Trek characters. But these are the new characters, however. Like I say, these are new characters. They, of course, with being, with Bomir and Mariner and Brown and Hanger, and of course the new envoy, Tira, and Tafa, the doctor, the cat looking one. I'd say these are, of course, the best part about this show. But, however, like I say, this is a first impressions video. But, once I get done working, I'm going to go to my silly persona, however, and of course, gotta say. But, there is a humor, however. The humor? The humor's good. Because I'm like I said, I've been a huge Star Trek fan when it's, of course, a TV show. I loved Star Trek, the 66 version, and of course I loved Star Trek The Next Generation. But, yeah, so I could see that, Captain. But that's it for the lower deck. It's time to talk about the bridge crew. We already have the captain, however, who of course is, 7 of the characters are, of course, are total dicks. So, yeah, it's TV-14. It's got coarse language, and, of course, the words have been censored. So I'm not going to say those words. But the swearing on there, yeah. They're swearing on there. Just, not used to, not used to those type of language, It's Star Trek. But we got a TVMA Star Trek shows like Discovery and Picard. This one's TV-14, and of course, the Star Trek I know is rated TV PG. So, yeah, that's pretty much I have to say, And of course, we have, but like I say, there's one who's too cocky, and of course the captain, who, of course it's a secret. We're going to reveal in the spoiler territory, but when I get done with work, because this is first impression right now. However, it's gonna be hard to remember the characters' names. It's because my brain's a little rusty on the Star Trek. Just because I say that, that doesn't mean I'm not interested. But I'm gonna keep on watching. But I'm gonna keep on watching, keep on, you know. But although I do plan to do this simultaneously, I do plan to do this show to review simultaneously. First with Star Trek Lower Decks, and at the same time later on Justice League, the Zack Snyder cut, which is gonna be long. It's gonna be too long. It's gonna. But like I say, but sometimes it'd be all worth it. Although I decided to, but although, like I say, even though I might be able to do a full review, but it's gonna be split into two parts. So, yeah, pretty much the same thing. However, so yeah, we're gonna have Star Trek, Lower Decks, and Justice League Zack Snyder Cut, part of March Mayhem. Alright, guys, that's going to do about it for first impression. But once I return from work, I'm going with my job. I'm going to do a review of Lower Decks. If you guys have the Paramount Plus, which was known as CBS All Access, right before the remarriage of CBS Viacom, and if you haven't seen it, this is a spoiler warning. So it's not a Disney affiliate show. This is a show that's been around with Paramount. That's been, with Paramount TV for long. However, I just say it'll be, with work. So that's pretty much it. Okay, guys, that's it for first impression. But here goes the review. I warned you. So unfortunately, there's a whistle coming up, meaning you've been warned. All right, guys. Welcome to Lower Decks. As I'm gonna do a full-on. This is a full-on review of Lower Decks. So here we go. So we begin with Emma, Brad Bimos doing a captain's log, only in his dreams because he's actually on the lower deck. It's just fantasizing about being on the bridge, but he's actually on the lower deck. And here comes Emmer. So yeah, I'll go check on the on lower decks. Hold on, I'll make sure to... I'll make sure to look at the characters. So yeah, that Beckett Maynard, however, Ensign Beckett Maynard, who showed up drunk with a Klingon whiskey, some sort of a blue goop, which turned out to be an alien type whiskey. Man, she is drunk as a skunk. And then, of course, she has been demoted several times. But with Brett Boimler, annoyed Brett Boimler. And of course, we cut to the title card. Re-intro, and we meet with the new ensign, however. Yeah, and her name is Devana Tenney. She was excited to be part of the start of the fleet crew, but however, which is being part of the USS Cerritos, but she's not very happy. Well, of course, she's very happy to be here, and of course, she's given a tour by both Maynard and Boimler. Yeah, Maynard and Boimler, who of course are our duo. Then enter here. They were given the tours, and of course, get to the introduction, and we meet another human named Sam Rutherford, who is also a human ensign. And Teddy happened to be a big fan of Starfleet. But back to Rutherford, who's of course trying to get get used to the new cyborg implant. Then of course with the teleporting machine, we get to Sam. Well, actually we get to the beach, which has a sandwich, which of course Ensign Boimler, however, got a rash from it. And then with the inside of the bridge, and then of course needed, and I say tours over, but one more. An all nudist gym. Wait, what the hell? Nudist gym? Where? Oh. Oh yeah. We're gonna go to the next scene, which of course we are in another planet, which of course we have Jack's Jack Ransom, who of course is the first officer of Cerritos, of Cerritos, And of course he was, sad, but he just brought back something. We're gonna find out very soon. And then Ensign Boimer was reported to Captain Freeman. And of course it's Ensign Maynard, however, and she has violated a lot. But if one more, what's that? But if Ensign Maynard broke something one more time, and then it's bye-bye. It's bye-bye her time and the Starfleet. But we are, of course, heading there for, and then, of course, was meeting with Ransom, and Ransom is not happy to see him, But then, of course, with Ensign Rutherford was talking to his crush, but First Officer Ransom had been turned into a virus-eating zombie. It was eating a human. Okay, that reminds me on chapter 23 or 22 of Red Harvest, of Star Wars Red Harvest. The one with the cafeteria and zombies, and the zombie Sith were attacking non-zombie Sith, the non-zombie Siths, and eating them. Yeah, yes. And there were a few, And of course, we got both, right before that, both ensigns were going to this planet to make sure to milk an alien. Sorry, to milk a spider, and then, of course, Ensign Boimler and is spying on Ensign Mariner, and she was stealing some things, but he caught her, and of course, but she tried to explain, and then the farmer, but he says he had a shovel and a hoe. And no, guys, not hoe as in a prostitute, but a hoe as in a garden you use to, get the soil. And then both farmers go inside, and then comes out a spider. The spider was ready to attack. But however, they're doing a diversion. But we can go back to Ensign Rutherford and his crush. They were talking, and of course surviving, going into space, and then talking about the monkeys that did song reference, I'm a Believer. And then, of course, they were transported as zombies, and then, of course, the two share a kiss. And of course, he was Ensign Ruther was surprised, but his ensign crush, however, just asked about the kiss, but that's not what he's talking about. He was talking about the controls he used. And then she walked out. And then as diversion, their clothes are off. Don't worry, guys. They're not naked. They're in their undergarments. And then Mariner created a diversion to, not only escape the spider, but send the ensign Boimler down to his, tangling with the spider. And then, of course, he was, he was crying out for help. And then she was talking to the farmers. But then the farmers saying that it can't kill her, that can't kill the spider because they're going to milk it, the mission. It's talking about the mission, but let's talk about the spider, which actually is an herbivore. No, it's just circle down to give the trespassers slime. And then, of course, he's covered in slime and he's naked. His underwear's gone. His space fleet suit is gone. He's just naked. Like, yeah, he's naked. Naked, 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 naked. Like Steve Harvey. And then, they were going back to the Starfleet to see everything happening. Oh, and what about Ensign, Tandy? Oh yeah, she's working at a medical bay, trying to get control of the ones who have been infected, and try to, who survived the attack. And of course, she's met with the cat-looking humanoid, or Irritation doctor with the head of medical board of the Cerritos, Tiana, which of course is a reference to the Star Trek animated series, which features a member. I've seen that since the animated series with a member of that species, Emrys. Interesting. Now that's what I call an Easter egg. Of course, she was pumping a human heart to try and make sure he lives. Yeah, sorry about that. Next time, if I watch the next episode, I'll make sure to have it on schedule. I'll make sure to remember. Once I'm clear of the schedule. But let's get back to this. But like I say, we're gonna go back to where we are. And of course, with Boimler being covered in slime, and you realize it was the cure. And the cure Jack Ransom, who was of course crying about eating a human. How many humans did he eat? Eat. But then, of course, created gas, which cures the infected with the virus, And yes, I'm planning on getting vaccination for the coronavirus very soon. But then Ensign Boimler, of course, was reported to Harold Freeman, and she thanks him for. Well, she was talking, and of course, as for the report, and then of course, he just decided to to not get her removed from the Starfleet. And then walked out, and then here comes the twist. She's got a she was talking to the to her own husband, and she's not very to be keen. And of course, that Ensign Mariner is Captain Freeman's daughter. Huh. And then after they, and then, you know, Thor had a moment like to sit. And of course, Tenny was excited to be part of the Starfleet because she got to touch a human heart. Yikes. Then, of course, they were having some lunch, and then the two were not keen. The two don't see eye to eye or not in each other's good books right now. But at least they mentioned Spock from being back from the dead. I mean, it reference the Search of Spock. Star Trek 3, which I never got to watch. It's like I say, I'm more interested in the TV show more than movies. Like I am with Star Wars. I'm very huge on movies. But don't worry, I'll talk about that on Wednesday, and of course, it's not going to be part of March. Oh wait, you know what? It's Gina Carano being fired? Yes, this is going to be the Wednesday Unleashed will be part of that. It also mentioned Captain Kirk. And then it had a lot of characters with Next Generation and Deep Start 9. And then, of course, the Starfleet goes into warp speed. Engage warp speed. And thus it ends the pilot. Alright, guys. It's time to beam me up and get the hell out of here.